right, Dai live for us there at the Boao Forum in Hainan province. Sustainable development is one of the big items on the agenda for the forum. Joining us now is Thomas Gehl. He served as an environmental advisor to former U.S. President Bill Clinton and is the president of ChildWise International. Thank you so much for joining us, Thomas.
My pleasure.
Well, I'd like to get your thoughts on some of the goals outlined for this forum, especially moving into a green transition for this grouping of countries.
I think it's a wonderful idea on bringing the countries together to be able to do it. China has been one of the leaders in renewable energy over the last 10 years, producing more renewable energies than any other country in the world. And I think on being able to transition some of that technology to the neighboring countries will be very, very useful. And I think that this will help to pull up the entire economic situation of the Asian region throughout that entire area.
Well, China's been talking about its goal of carbon neutrality by the year 2060. 25 other Asian countries have made similar goals in the last year or so. How does Boao help facilitate this among its member countries, everyone getting on the same page with their goals? How does green governance play a role here?
I think it's critical in really showing that it's important within the governmental structures to be able to lead the companies as well within the country. So by the country setting very important goals on green technology and benchmarks that they want to meet, it will help to drive the entire economy. Plus, I think now that we're in some of the carbon trading concepts, we can potentially see one country being able to help other countries to be able to reach their goals in a unified fashion instead of just one by one.
In 2020, climate finance in Asia accounted for around half of the global total, among the largest of all the areas. Can you help explain for us what this means exactly, how it's used, what it pays for, and the infrastructure needed to accomplish all of that?
Well, I think that it helps to determine what the economic base is in the different countries and being able to pull them together to be able to see how, as a unit, they can work more effectively than individually. And I think that's the most important part of the forum. Again, it's the 21st year of the forum, so they have a lot of experience, a lot of expertise that's there. It builds relationships and friendships, so beyond the forum, they can continue to discuss how to use these goals and how to work together to achieve the regional objective and not just the individual country objective.
And Thomas, part of this forum is also dealing with the global economy and everything else that is happening around the world. How complicated has the pandemic, the situation in Ukraine, how has that impacted the green goals for many of these countries in this region and trying to reach the net neutrality by a certain year? I mean, is that putting some of this behind?
I think it doesn't necessarily have to. I think that on the pandemic, actually, we saw emissions go down substantially because manufacturing was down. I think possibly one of the blessings from the pandemic is we could see that it is the human interaction with the environment that is causing the problem. In India, it was the first time they could see the Himalayas for 30 years, 50 years, because of the reduced manufacturing. So if we see that we can, by producing clean manufacturing, be able to achieve these goals in a meaningful way, I think it can be very helpful to move forward as we go forward. China right now is in a scramble to generate more energy to try to keep up with the developing economy. That hurts to a certain extent because we have more coal generation facilities going online. But I believe that they will still make their carbon peaking target of 2030 that President Xi had outlined several years ago. And I believe that China will be able to hold to that goal.
All right, great to get your take. Thomas Gehl, thank you so
much
much for joining us from Philadelphia.
My pleasure.
The top